All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome in here to WFSP Plus, Channel 3 First Alert Meteorologist Tyler Hughes here with Cassidy Williams on this Valentine's evening.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
I know. I hope you get a chance to celebrate by having a lovely Valentine's date night with WFSP Plus, right?
With a live stream.
No, but like it's I'm glad that we're doing this because there's been a few changes to the forecast over the last like 24 hours. So we really want to let people know. But how's your day been so far? Good?
So far, so good. It was the first day in weeks we could go out and for a little family walk.
Exactly. It's been actually pretty nice today. But the interesting part is that today was not a break in the trend of below average temperatures.
It felt
a lot better.
It
but
wasn't in the teens
average
for
for this time of year is 38. And we thought, maybe we can get there. Maybe we can get there. We didn't quite get there. More on that here in just a second. But, of course, the next big thing in our first alert forecast is this coastal storm that will be tracking to our south. And it will do so tomorrow night into very early Monday morning. And so what that means for us is potentially some light snow just as this thing sort of brushes to our south here. But first we'll talk about the temperatures because here's the late. I mean, we've been in this string now 23 days in a row of high temperatures below 40 degrees in Hartford. Can you believe that?
I'm assuming that's abnormal.
It's the longest streak of such temperatures in over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
so
why 37 felt warm today.
Exactly. And just as a little sort of disclaimer, when we say Hartford area, we mean Bradley Airport, because that's where we take all of the climate observations for Hartford is actually at Bradley. So in Windsor Locks today, we got up to 37 degrees. Again, the average is 38. So we were just 1 degree shy, and that puts us in the below average category. We got up to 39 in Hartford today. Some places did break the 40-degree mark. So if we were talking about New Haven, we'd be having a different conversation. They got up to 40 today, 43 in Chester and Danbury. So, like, that's really nice, you know?
Yeah, it's all perspective, you know.
Exactly. When you're coming off of last weekend, we had, 30 degrees below zero in some places.
Yeah.
And now we're up in the upper 30s and low 40s out there. Like, it feels really nice.
Yeah.
And guess what? Heading into the beginning of next week, we get even warmer.
I know.
How does that
Saw
sound?
your 7-day during the 6 and 7, and it got me excited.
And we'll see it again at 11 o'clock. So again, here's the almanac. The normal high for today, about 38 degrees. An interesting thing is, by the time we get to Friday of next week, that average high goes up to 40 for the first time this year.
I'll take it.
Very exciting. And our averages keep ticking up slowly from here, so very exciting stuff.
We're gaining a lot of daylight, too.
We're gaining a lot of daylight, too. But one question I've commonly gotten asked is, well, why doesn't that mean all the snow is melting off, right? I went to take a right turn today, and I still couldn't see behind that snowbank. So it's like, well, what's with that? So this is a really interesting thing that even I, wasn't super savvy on this until I did some research, and thanks to our friends at the National Weather Service for sharing this with us. This is from the Office of Water Prediction, which is a division of NOAA, and this is the average snowpack temperature for today. Look at Connecticut. We're mostly in that sort of light blue shading, which is actually 23 to 28 degrees. So even though the air temperature is in the upper 30s, that snowpack is still in the 20s. So it takes a lot for it to melt still.
It's kind of like insulating itself, probably.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And it's keeping itself colder.
So how warm do we have to get to really see some of that
So
snow melt?
we would really have to get into the 50s, 60s to see like a very quick snow melt.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
We wouldn't want that, exactly, because that could cause snowmelt flooding. Or what we would have to see is like a really torrential rainfall. That would do it too. But what we like to see is temperatures that are in the 40s, right? Slow melting, and that helps to alleviate any of the concerns of snowmelt flooding, which can be real concerns. So here are our forecast highs for tomorrow. Again, right around where we were today, perhaps a degree or two off in some places, but 40 is our forecast for Hartford, 39 for Enfield, 40 for Chester, New Haven, 39 for Bridgeport, and we'll see increasing clouds late in the day, and that's ahead of that storm system that tracks to our south. So here it is on First Alert Futurecast. I mean, you see it bringing torrential rain tomorrow night to Virginia, parts of the DC metro area, snow to parts of Pennsylvania. But this area of low pressure stays far enough to our south that it looks like we only get some light snow out of it late tomorrow night, overnight, while most of us are sleeping, into very early on President's Day. So not too bad.
People could wake up with a little bit of snow in their car.
Right. And even if you're an early riser, it might still be lightly snowing in some places. But and you know, you may have to dust off a little bit, but we're not talking about a heavy
Not breaking
impact
out the
event here.
shovel.
We're not breaking out the shovels. We're not breaking out the snow blowers. We're not naming this winter storm, right? Like don't worry. It's a couple inches of snow. We can handle it here in Connecticut, right? I mean, here's 8 a.m. It might still be lightly snowing with a few snow showers, but by the afternoon, we're getting in on a few peaks of sunshine even as the slow sort of moves on out of here. So here's the comparison between the two models. I mean, this is 7 a.m. Monday. Both the European and the American models still picking up on some light snow. We're right on the northern fringe of this storm. But what we'll do is, because everyone wants to talk amounts, right? How much are we going to get? I'll show you the raw data first, the latest data that we have in, and then I'll show you our forecast. So this is... Oh, did I go one too far? No, I didn't. Okay, so this is... Had to make sure. This is, I believe, the European model, showing a higher amount, maybe an inch to an inch and a half or so in Fairfield County. Everyone else seeing less than an inch, right, of snow accumulation. This is the American model, which is showing similar but less in sort of northern Connecticut, barely anything.
Yeah.
So here's our forecast. There's still a little bit of uncertainty, especially where exactly the track ends up. So coating to 2 inches pretty much across the board. And seeing what you just saw, the upper end of that range, the 2 inches, is not going to happen in northern Hartford County, in northern Litchfield County, right? If we get closer to that 2-inch range, it's going to be
Maybe
Fairfield along the 95 corridor. Wouldn't be surprised to pick up a 2, maybe even, you know, a locally higher amount. But those higher end amounts would be along the shoreline. And the coating to 1 inch would likely be more inland. So this is our forecast. Not too bad. We can certainly handle it here in Connecticut. But we're actually below average for this month. So February is typically our
You
snowiest
just jinxed us.
month. I knock on wood. You all heard me knock, guys. Typically in February, we get close to 15 inches of snow. Now, of course, we've already gotten a great deal of snow. I mean, look at January was not over, close to double average. And a good chunk of that was Winter Storm Benjamin. So where do we stand so far this season? So far this season, we've had about 37.5 inches of snow out at Bradley. The average for the entire season, about between 51 and 52 inches.
So we're still below average.
So we're still below average, but we have the whole season left to go. Right? Well, not the whole
We're
season,
almost
but
there.
we have the rest of February. Sometimes we get some snow in March and April too. So we have that left to go, right? And the last time we got above average was 60.3 inches, and that was back in 1617.
So we've been below average for
Quite a
almost
while,
10 years.
almost
Yeah.
10 years, yeah. And so we still have a ways to go if we're looking at.
Do you think is that a sign that it's trending, that maybe the average will come down over time? If for 10 years we're below
Certainly.
average?
And so what happens is these normals, when we say normal, it comes from 30-year normals that are calculated every 10 years. So they average over 30 years. The last time they did that was in 2020. So they took from, what would that be, 1991 to 2020?
So in 2030, we'll get
So
a
in
new set of
2030, we'll get a
averages.
new set of averages.
And I have a feeling, based on the last 10 years, it's going to be quite a bit.
Exactly. Yep. And that's sort of the trend that we've been seeing, even with the last couple of cycles of that as well. But so far, the season to date, we're actually still above normal. So if you look at the entire season, we're still below average. But if you look at the season to date, we are above average by close to 4 inches in Hartford and a little more than 14 inches in Bridgeport. Again, the bulk of that was Winter Storm Benjamin, right? So here's the 3-day forecast. Look at Tuesday. Oh, man. 45 degrees is our forecast high. That's going to feel nice.
Yeah.
And I have Tuesday off.
But aren't you going to be out of town?
I'll be out of town. But that's not the point, right?
Is the weather going to be nice where you're going?
Yeah,
Also?
I'm just driving a couple hours away, so it's not going to be that bad. But a good deal of sunshine as well on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 30s the next couple of days, and then by the time we get to Tuesday, we jump up into the 40s. Tuesday is the warmest day of next week. But as we head toward the back half of the week, it becomes more unsettled. Wednesday, we have a chance for some rain showers. Thursday's trending a little bit drier, and then Friday and Saturday, we go back to some rain and snow shower chances. Again, it's not looking like a blockbuster storm here, but we just want to give you the first alert that the back half of next week might be a little bit on the unsettled side of things. So that's sort of where we stand with the chance for any snow tomorrow night into very early on President's Day. About a coating to 2 inches possible, but not much more than that. This storm is tracking well offshore. And of course, if anything changes over the next 24 hours, we will be the first to alert you and let you know.
Yeah, we will always be here.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us on this Valentine's Day.
And we'll have another update coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll be on Channel 3 with all your latest news, weather, and sports.
Yeah, UConn men are playing right now.
Very exciting. Can't wait to see how that game goes. All right, have a great Valentine's evening, everybody. Take care.